Who is the king of the mini tools? Who is the king of the mini tools? I was going through my big box of multi-tools and realized there's quite a little collection here of Keychain multi-tools. Some of a bygone era and some that are still in production today and some that I wish were still in production today. But I thought, why not go through these and give a quick comparison point for you guys that are looking for Keychain multi-tools. Now this is maybe pushing the boundaries of a Keychain multi-tool, but it's probably my favorite, the Leatherman mini tool. It is really hard to beat the functionality you can see as I fold this tool out into a completely fully functioning multi-tool. Now let me find, I should have a PST2 here and compare that. When deployed, they're the same size. This is a full-size plier, well, an old school full-size plier head. Longer handles by a skosh, and just a really functional tool. Not as uncomfortable as you might think, because you have these, you know, a lot of your pressure is going to end up on the bottom half where it is rounded out. And then inside the mini tool, you've got just the bare bones, but still quite helpful. You've got a small plain edge blade, and you've got a file and flathead screwdriver. Oh, and a can opener and a bottle opener, you can see, are built into, let me see if I can get that out, into the kind of flip out liners there. But even, oh, just like that, I think others have said, I agree, wish something like that was still in production. That slips into your coin pocket. The Leatherman mini tool, if you want to check that out on eBay and see if you can find one. Let's go to a modern one. Kind of the closest modern equivalent maybe is the Leatherman Micra. Of course, you're swapping out the plier head for scissors. Now, I've always been a fan of these scissors. I used to and still like the idea of carrying a small pair of or a small keychain tool with scissors alongside maybe a full-size multi-tool. I think they're a very complementary everyday carry. You don't have too much redundancy, but you have an increased level of capability without adding too much bulk and stuff like that. So if we pull open the Micra, you're going to see we have a chisel edge. Is it a chisel ground? Yeah, I think that's chisel ground. Plain edge blade, nail cleaner and file, and that is going to be kind of a diamond file versus the older crosscut files. And then a pretty decently beefy flathead for the size. And on the other side, we're going to have a micro flathead, a pair of tweezers, which are probably the weakest point on this tool, in my opinion. And then you've got a two-dimensional, they say for Phillips. Obviously, this could be used on as flathead driver as well, but it's got that shape to fit well into a Phillips driver. I really like the Micra. I think if you need a keychain multi-tool today, this is a very good place to start. The alternative today, one alternative today, I don't have, I'm shocked, but I don't have a Victorinox Classic SD with me. But this is the form factor, so you can see it compared. And I've just got a little lobster claw on there that works real well in the pocket. I wouldn't trust it from my, from like a belt loop or something. Mine is custom with obviously my Micarta scales and a custom tool set, but you can get right out of the box on Amazon. We'll put a link below, an affiliate link below if you want to get one. Super cheap, super handy. It'll have the Classic SD has a nail file / flathead screwdriver. It has the plain edge blade, and then a pair of scissors, which are, again, it's the adding those scissors to the multi-tool, and sometimes your multi-tool is not going to have scissors, and so that complementary sort of loadout is something that I am a big fan of. What else do we have out today? Oh, here's an old one. SOG Cross Grip. Found this for, I don't know, super cheap, secondhand tool store, one of my go-to places, and I had to pick it up. In here we've got a plain edge blade, the worst pair of tweezers I've ever seen. Look at how beefy and thick those are. And then flathead screwdriver, as well as bottle opener and micro screwdriver, and what is that, a nail cleaner and file as well. And then the head is this kind of blunt combo pliers that actually is relatively, I think, useful. If I were to just say, let's grab one of these and try and, because of SOG's compound action here, which it has in its bigger tools, it actually gives you some really nice grip. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt over time, but you get some nice grip without applying so much pressure, and it just has a nice little, I like this tool. I think it's pretty decent. It's got a ruler on the side with some cutouts that are mysterious, who knows, yada yada. Oh, let's go to the Style series. If I'm not mistaken, I'll put a link if I can find them, but I believe they're still making the Leatherman Style PS, which is a supposedly TSA-friendly multi-tool. Here I have the Leatherman Style CS, as well as the old Leatherman Style, which I don't think I've heard much about ever. Maybe when I was paying less attention was when it was popular. It's going to have that chisel blade with kind of the cutouts reminiscent of the Skeletool lineup. And then it's also going to have, let's see if I can get these out of here. It's going to have a nail file and 2D Phillips and a pair of scissors. And so this is going up against the Victorinox Classic SD. It's going to have basically the same tool set in a similar size form factor. I've also got hidden in here a little pair of tweezers, which is nice. And I liked this tool when compared to the Style CS, because you can see it's a lot smaller and it's got the same tools. Now where it loses out is that the Style CS has a built-in carabiner. And this is going to let you clip it onto your keychain really easily and pull it off really easily. Beyond that, I talked about in a really old video, when you add maybe a Night Eyes S-Beaner or something on here, you add another inch to the dangle on this and it becomes very sloppy. It bounces around, whereas this just hangs nicely in line with your keys. Actually a really nice tool. So if you're looking for a keychain pliers, I would see if you can get your hands on a Style PS, and then scissors would be the Style CS, which you can still find used on eBay. And I've got I think I have a couple of these actually. I loaded up at one point because these were a really dedicated part of my everyday carry. They've got some really nice tweezers built in. I think these might be the old Style, but still very good. Pretty competent scissors in my opinion. You're not going to cut fabric with it for, but that's not what these are for. And then it's got the same kind of chisel ground blade, which I used to keep these just very sharp for precision work, and try not to use them. Go for my EDC knife when I needed them. And then a nail file, which I always thought was quite handy. I used to bite my nails a lot, which I've gotten away from, luckily. But having a nail file would help me prevent that. And then what's left? I guess, I should say the Style PS is going to have pliers here instead of scissors, and then instead of the knife blade, it's going to have a small pair of scissors reminiscent of the ones I showed you on the Leatherman Style. I would love to hear, before I show this last one, your guys' favorite tools, your favorite keychain multi-tools. I know there's a lot out there. The Gerber Dime is one that I've never got my hands on. What should I get next to review on the channel, I guess, is my question to you. And our final one is a fun one, another, couple of dollar purchase. It's the Mountain Quest. Give me 1 second. Just gonna get that dehumidifier off so it doesn't run through the rest of the video. This is a fun little tool. Does it have a lanyard ring? I don't know if it has a lanyard ring. It would be nice to add one. Maybe you could clip one up here. But just a tiny little tool. It's called a Mountain Quest, or from Mountain Quest. It's got nut drivers on the end, a little ruler. And when you open it up, those scissors spring out for some reason. You've got barely a detent on these. I bought it used and refurbed it, so, you know, take all this with a grain of salt. But, oh, it does have a little lanyard ring hidden in here. So if you wanted, you could hook that on a keychain. Some interesting little tweezers here. Small blade, a 2D Phillips, flat blade. Look at the nail nick. I think that this is original. It doesn't look like it's been reground, personal to me. Unless somebody really took more time than it's worth, but they just put that nail nick right at the end. You got a nail file and cleaner. I think you have a knife blade in here. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Right out of China is what it says. And just the world's worst scissors. I mean, you could drive a 747 through the gap on those. But it's in my, you know, sometimes I pick these things up and think, well, let's give it a shot and see if it holds up. Let's, you know, when you get it when you see it in a secondhand shop, you don't really know, and then you pull it out, you do some research, and you go, oh, that's a piece of junk. But I love the way that if you just slightly open this, those scissors will pop out into the nut driver there, and then just bind the whole tool up. So would not recommend this one. Would actually recommend probably any of these other ones. I really like the style and the Classic XD or Classic SD, but the Leatherman Micra might be the most capable in this size. If you can get your hands on a Leatherman Squirt, that's another option worth mentioning. But I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know again what your favorite is, if there's one that I should pick up and add to my collection to kind of explore and look at and share with others. Let me know. I'm super interested in hearing your guys' takes. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. We'll have some affiliate links down below as well. Those help support the channel. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you in the next video. Cheers.